So, you clicked on this video wanting to find some help on how to deal with hunger on a diet. And I previously used to be a bigger guy, and I used to be one of those guys that will wake up, eat food, you know? Before 12 p.m., I've already eaten like 3 meals. And by the time the night comes and it's time to bed, I'm eating again. And like some days I'll go eating 10 times a day? Like it got bad, and I'm pretty sure I had a food addiction. And I'm not one of those guys that would be like, "Oh, I have this." Like I'm not one of those guys. But I'm pretty sure I did have a food addiction, right? And if I was able to overcome it, anyone can, okay? And in this video, I'm gonna tell you things that are gonna help you instantly overcome this food addiction and help you with dealing with your hunger when you're trying to lose weight, right? So the first thing you need to do is eat high volume, low calorie foods. So what do I mean by this? We all know there's certain foods that are like you can eat so many of it and they don't have any calories. Or you can have like something so small and it's filled with calories, right? So foods that we're trying to avoid, like oils, cheese, dry fruit, granola bars, just stuff like this, they're generally not healthy. They're for people that are trying to bulk up. But we're not here to bulk, we're here to lose weight, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, you need to avoid these kind of foods as much as possible. Because you may think that you're eating a little bit of food, right? And you just take a tiny bit or like a moderate amount of this. But little do you know, you can finish your daily calories in just like a little bit of these foods. So the foods we want to be eating more are like fruits, salad, oats, lettuce, cucumbers, strawberries, berries. These kind of foods, you can eat so much of this food, right? And it's not too many calories, right? So if you eat so many strawberries, you can fill your mouth with strawberries. You're gonna feel full. You're gonna feel sick. You're gonna be like, I just did that. You know. But turns out you didn't actually eat too many calories. Or you can eat like a bar of chocolate and be like, oh, and you're still hungry, and that's like 500 calories just gone. So you need to be like watching what you're eating. Like, just prioritize eating more high volume, low calorie foods. Once you get into the habit and you find out, oh, this is actually this, I can eat so much of this and it's so little calories, like you're gonna be good. So it's all about controlling the calories, right? Don't blow all your calories just on some stupid chocolate bar or something. So the next thing we need to do is time our meals to our bodies, right? So what do I mean by this? When I used to be a bigger guy, and at the peak of my big back activities, I'll wake up, I'll just eat food. Whenever I was hungry, I'll just eat all this, all that. I'll just eat as much as I would like, right? Without knowing that eating actually harms our body if you do it too much. So this is what I'll do. I started learning about fat loss, doing all this, hitting the gym. So I built a system of time that I'll eat, and it's worked so well for me. And I was able to drop so much weight. So I wake up at 8, and I'll eat my first meal at 2 p.m., right? So I'll go about my day, whatever, and then I'll eat my last meal at around 7 or 8 p.m., right? And this way, I found that every time I got like extremely hungry, I couldn't take it anymore, I timed it perfectly so that my meal was there and I'll just eat. So what I found for myself was that whenever I would eat breakfast, I would always be so hungry afterwards, for the rest of the day, like no matter what I ate, no matter what. So what did I do? I realized, oh, breakfast makes me extremely hungry. So let me skip out on breakfast and eat my first meal at 2 p.m. So what this did was it stopped me from having that craving in my stomach where it's like I've eaten, but I'm still hungry. Like we all know that feeling in our stomach. So I timed it perfectly to where I get I'm so hungry, I'm extremely hungry, and I eat at 2. And then I go about my day, I'm extremely hungry, and I eat at 8. And then I'm full for the rest of the day, the rest of the night, and then I'm good in the morning and I repeat the cycle. So our bodies are different, so you need to find out what works best for you. But that worked extremely well for me, right? So just test different methods like eating breakfast and lunch, skipping dinner, eating breakfast and dinner, skipping lunch, eating lunch and dinner, skipping breakfast. So just try all these different things and see which one works best for you. So the next thing is you need to drink so much water throughout the day. Chances are, if you're constantly hungry and you're always hungry, you're not drinking enough water and you're probably dehydrated. So why do we need to drink water, right? And I learned that when we're hungry, sometimes our brain can't really tell the difference between hunger and thirstiness, right? So when we're hungry or when we feel hungry, we're actually extremely thirsty. And all we need to do is just drink water and we're fine. But our brain finds it hard to tell the difference sometimes, right? So every time you get that hungry feeling like, oh, I need to drink, I need to eat, I need to eat, just drink some water, right? Like drink 800 milliliters, drink a liter of water, right? And see how you feel after. If you've drank the water, you come back, you wait for a bit, and you're still hungry, then yes, you're hungry, just eat some food, right? But chances are, most of the time you feel hungry, you're not really hungry. You just really need some water in your system, right? So, another thing that too little water can do is that it holds too much water around your body. So, water retention, right? And it makes you look bigger than you are. So, you drink more water, your body holds less water, and then you look nice and fit, right? So we need to be prioritized. We need to drink as much water as we can throughout the day. Okay? So the next thing is that we need to eat high protein meals. So we want to prioritize eating 30 grams of protein per meal. So when I would wake up and I'll eat my first meal will always be high protein, right? So it'll be 6 eggs, then I'll have some beef, then I'll have some beans, and then I'll sprinkle hot sauce all over it, right? So all of that is protein, okay? And what I found from eating that high protein meal was that I could go the whole day without eating, you know? I was so full after that. But obviously, I'm not trying to lose weight anymore. I'm trying to maintain, so I had to eat more. But I found out that eating that much protein kept me full for longer. And when you're full for longer, your cravings are less, so you're gonna deal with less hunger, right? So make sure you're eating extremely high protein meal. So this can be like chicken, eggs, what else? Beans, all these kind of things are gonna do extremely well in keeping you full for longer, right? The next thing is that I know most of you guys, you start your days early and you end late, right? So you start your day 7, 8 p.m., wake up, 7, 8 a.m., you wake up and you go to bed at 12 p.m. So is it really wise to blow all your calories before 12 p.m. in the morning? No, you know? So don't, as soon as you wake up, put something in your mouth. Just chill on it a bit, right? Like you have the whole day to eat. So if you're eating all your calories and by the time it's 6 p.m., you're done all your calories and you're still hungry, and now you're in bed, it's 10 p.m. and you're starving. Obviously, you're gonna binge eat and you're gonna eat the snacks, eat the snacks, eat the snacks. So save your calories for later on in the day, you know? Like, make sure that you can, it's better to always eat more food than having to eat over your calories, if you know what I mean, right? So it's never a problem when you have to eat more food, right? When you have to eat more calories, because there's always food you can just munch on and it's gonna give you the calories. But you can't be keep blowing your calories in bed, and you do so well throughout the day, but you've wasted all your calories, and it's 10 p.m. and now you're done and you can't have any more. You know, so you need to be making sure that you're saving your calories and you're eating your calories wisely. If you know you have a long night, don't finish all your calories by 6 p.m., you know? Space it out. If you know, oh, I'm having a chill night and I can sleep by 10, yeah, you can eat all your calories throughout the day. But if you're having long night and you know you're having a long night, don't blow all your calories throughout the day. Trust me, I've gone through that and it was very bad decision. Because what happened to me, I found myself at Domino's at 1 a.m. in the morning because I was starving because I finished all my calories throughout the day, right? So, and the last thing is that you're probably just bored, you know? You need to find something to fill up your day. If you're bored all the time, keep doing the same thing, you're just watching TikTok on your bed, obviously you're going to binge eat more because you're not doing things. But if you're going out, making more friends, learning a language, hitting the gym like we're supposed to, working on other areas of our lives, we're not going to be feel that need to eat, right? So what I found for me was that at the peak of my food addiction, I found that I was the most bored, you know? All I spent my days doing was spending time with my friends and playing FIFA, you know? And obviously, if all I'm doing is sitting in front of a screen playing FIFA, I'm going to want to eat more food, okay? So we need to get out all the bored areas of our lives We need to start doing more things with our life. Like, we're young for so little time. Let's experience the outside. Let's go outside. Let's just go walk with your mom. Go talk with your brothers, make new friends. Like, you're never gonna, that's never a waste in life, You're never gonna be like, I shouldn't have gone outside today. You're never gonna be like, I shouldn't have made friends with that person. But you're always gonna regret the time you spent wasted on the computer. So these are just a few things that help me with my hunger issue, my food addiction. And if you implement these steps into your life, I'm gonna guarantee that you are going to beat this hunger problem and you're not going to feel so hungry on your diet, right? So just follow these things, do as I say, and you're not going to feel so hungry. Thanks for watching.